Here's a very useful application of GeoGebra, where you can take an image and insert it into the graphics window, assign a few points to it, and record their coordinates to the spreadsheet. From the spreadsheet you can use regression to assign a function to fit your image. This is how you do it. Take a new window and maximize it by clicking in the corner. With the Move button on, right-click in the graphics view and click on Grid to bring that up. Go back to the Edit menu and drop down until you get to Insert Image From, in this case the file. Here you might have some images already stored, like this one of the Sydney Harbour Bridge under construction. I'll hit Open, and now it appears in the graphics window. Right-click on the image and go down to Absolute Position on Screen. Click that. Now when you come to move the scales later, as we're about to, the image itself won't be squeezed. Right-click again on the image and go down to Object Properties and press Color. You can't change the color, but you can change how opaque it is. Dial it down and close that window. The image hasn't moved, but now you can see the axis actually behind the image. With the combination of the Move arrow and the two-headed Move Graphics view, you can move both of these things around. With the Move button, you can click on the image and move it around. With the four-headed Move Graphics view, you can click on that and move the axis around. With a combination of the two, you want to change your image and move it so that it appears on some point on the origin of the axis, in this case at the end of this arch. With your Move Graphics view, take it and move it down to the x-axis until a two-headed arrow appears. Left click and start to drag that axis. From research I know that the distance between the two arches on the Sydney Harbour Bridge is 500 meters. So I'm moving my x-axis until 500 appears on the end, or rather the other end of this archway. Once that's done, go back to your Move arrow, right-click on the graphics view again, and go down to x-axis, y-axis. Click on 1:1. You'll notice that the y-axis now moves to an appropriate scale. Go up to your tool buttons again and click on the Point button. Go back and put a point on somewhere on your image. With the Move button, right click on that point and click on Trace On. Click again on your point, or rather before that, go up to your view and press Spreadsheet. Now go back to your point, right click again and click on Record to Spreadsheet. You don't need that one, but you'll notice in the spreadsheet that the top of this one says XC and YC, which represents the X coordinates of my C point and the Y coordinates of my C point. Now move your pointer so that it's above the C, left click, and then use it to drag your point across your image. You notice that as I do so, all these new points and their coordinates are recorded on the spreadsheet. Once you're done, go back to your spreadsheet and highlight both of those columns in blue. 4 new buttons appear on the left-hand side of your window. Go to the second one, which presently says 1 Variable Analysis, but click underneath and go to 2 Variable Regression Analysis. This image or window will appear with a column showing the X coordinates of the C point and this one showing the Y coordinates of the C point. Press Analysis. This window will come up showing all the points that you previously just dragged out. Fit a regression model to it underneath. In this case, a polynomial of degree 2. Go back up to the top right hand corner to this screen here, or this point, and click on it. It says Copy to Graphics View, Copy to Clipboard, Export as a Picture. Just click on Copy to Graphics View. You don't need that window anymore. Get out of it. And this one you don't need as well. Now the image has come back, but with all these points added in as well. For some reason they always go misalign at this stage, so you need to right click on the middle there and then use your move graphics view to move this around, or to move the image back to where you had it before, in this case the origin on this end of the arch. Again, with your move graphics view, go down to the x-axis until it's a two-headed arrow and move the other point to where it was supposed to be, in this case 500 on the other end of the arch. Go back to your move arrow, right click until this comes up with graphics again. As before, go to x-axis, y-axis, go down to 1 and 1 and click, and we're almost done. You can go to the algebra screen and click off list, which will remove all those dots that you dragged out before. If you'd like to pretty up your function that you have, you can, as always, right click on it, go down to object properties, basic, and where it says name, you might like to put name and value in as well, or change the color, change the style by making it thicker or a different looking line. Close that window. You may notice that the function starts with a coefficient of 0x squared. It's a very small number. So in that case, go up to options, go up to rounding, and click on 4 decimal places. Now the coefficient is a little more appropriate. There's your new function fitted to your image, which can be done to all sorts of images. And that's it.